Working for you. A weekly talk radio program which highlights developments of national interest and the activities of your St. Kitts Nevis government. Join host Lesroy Williams as he presents news, views, reports, and interviews about everything regarding the activities of the Team Unity government and the building of our communities and the development of St. Kitts Nevis. Tune in and call in to interact with your government and share your views regarding the upward forward development of your community and our beautiful Twin Island Federation. Working for You is weekly, every Wednesday live from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on ZIZ Radio, Win FM, and Sugar City FM with rebroadcast on participating stations. Working for You.
A pleasant good day to all of you in Radio Land. Today we are back with Working for You. Last week we had a break because of Parliament. This program, Working for You, is our weekly radio show where the people of St. Kitts and Nevis can learn about what the government is doing for them in terms of the various ministries, what is happening in those ministries, the government's policies and initiatives, and all the happenings of the government. You can hear about it on this program. Today, we are very fortunate to have with us officials from the Ministry of Tourism. Of course, you know that the tourism industry is on the move in St. Kitts and Nevis. And St. Kitts and Nevis is one of the Caribbean's most rapid growing and popular tourist destinations to visit. It is now our main revenue earner. Tourism is our life, and as such, we have to treasure it. Today I have with me three officials from the Ministry of Tourism, who I will introduce to you. Mrs. Dianelle Taylor-Williams, who is Assistant Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism. Welcome.
Thank you.
Ms. Novelette Morton, who is Senior Tourism Project Officer. Welcome, Ms. Morton.
Thank you.
And we have Ms. Shailene Well, Community Tourism Officer. Welcome.
Thank you.
We are very fortunate to have you today. And of course, you're going to discuss with us some of what is happening in tourism. And each of you, of course, will add your flavor to this pot. So, I would begin with Ms. Morton. You are involved in the tourism education program. Could you tell us why this is so important and some of the institutions being targeted? Why is tourism education so important?
Mr. Williams, as you rightly said, tourism is the major income earner for St. Kitts and Nevis. And we at the Ministry of Tourism feel that it is about time that our students from primary school stage are made aware of the importance of tourism, the benefits of tourism, what tourism involves. And so we are embarking on a pilot project come September 2016 with 3 pilot schools, the Sandy Point Primary, the Dr. William Connor Primary, and the Bassett High School. And it is our hope that after we have worked with these schools, that we'll be able to expand to other schools.
Why are you starting with the schools?
Yes.
Why is it so important to start with the schools?
It is very important to start because we have to deal with our young people. Mm-hmm. They are the future employees in the industry. They are the people who tourists meet on the streets. They are the people who are going to carry the industry forward, and so it is very important that we start with our youth. Additionally, we have courses offered at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, Hospitality and Culinary Arts. But there is a hiatus, there's a break between the primary and the secondary levels and the tertiary level. And so there's this disconnect. And we feel that it is very important that the young people be made aware of the importance of tourism from small, so that when the time comes, when they reach the point when they make a decision, when they enter the tertiary institution, the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College, that it would not come as a strange, that it would be natural, that it would be a smooth fit from primary, secondary to tertiary, because we need people in the industry.
Right, and I think that Cape now has a tourism course.
Cape offers a tourism course.
Yes.
And so if you're going to get people involved in tourism, pursuing tourism at the higher level, then we have to introduce it from the young, from small, when they are in their young stages.
So basically the development of the human resource in this area of tourism is extremely important.
Very important.
It is said that tourism is the biggest employer in the region, and so therefore it is integral to economic growth and development. And the training, which you highlighted, is so important, so pivotal to developing that human resource. But let me ask you, why is tourism awareness, the awareness? Mind you, we may have a tourism industry, but the awareness or the level of awareness is not where it should be. Why is it so important to raise awareness?
Tourism is everybody's business, and so it is critical that we raise awareness. And the youth play an important part, because they're the ones who go home and influence their parents. They're the ones who go home and tell their parents what they learned in school. And so it is very important that we start with our youth. Additionally, we feel that public awareness is also important, because this is why a program of this nature is very important, because we need to get our people in tune with the whole idea of tourism as being everybody's business. And when Charlene comes to speak about community tourism, she is going to show how important it is to have these synergies, to have these synergies with the people, so that everybody will see tourism as part of their business. And if everybody does that, I think it will be all the better off.
Right. Now, the Caribbean Tourism Organization, which of course oversees what happens in tourism within the Caribbean, this year will have a Tourism Youth Congress. It is slated for later this year. Could you tell us a little bit more about this Youth Congress? What are its objectives? What does it hope to achieve, etc.?
The Tourism Youth Congress has been happening for a while now, and it is geared towards students between the ages of 14 and 17 years. And basically what is done is that they are given a number of topics on which they have to discuss as junior ministers of tourism. So they're given a topic where they prepare themselves for 3 minutes, and they give their arguments on why a particular thing should be done. They're also given a mystery question, right? And that is basically to see that, 1, they have engaged in research, 2, that they can express themselves well, and 3, that they can think on their feet. And so you find that over the years the competition has shown that persons who are able to think quickly on their feet and who can articulate their thoughts very well are the ones who come out the champions. But it is a very important competition. It is a very good competition, because, as I mentioned, it helps with research, it helps with expression, self-expression, and also it enables one to think on one's feet.
Could you tell us a little bit of what some of these topics are for this year's Youth Congress?
For this year's topics, you have 3 topics from which you have to select one. That's for the prepared question. The first one is the customer's perception of the brand. And it says, a brand is no longer what we tell consumers it is. It is what consumers tell each other it is.
Interesting.
And that is by Scott Cook, co-founder of Intuit. And the question says, as Junior Minister of Tourism, put forward 2 actionable strategies to achieve this goal. You must present a strong understanding of your country's brand and explain clearly the approaches to be taken in enhancing the visitor's brand perception. Then there's another topic on fostering entrepreneurship. As Junior Minister of Tourism, you have been challenged to work together with a small group of your peers to present an entrepreneurial idea, product or service that would add to the tourism product offering in your country, therefore making it more diversified and interesting. Your entrepreneurial initiative must be sustainable, and strong reasons should be presented for your choice of product or service. And the last topic for the prepared section is creating flow experiences. As Junior Minister of Tourism, present to your cabinet an idea for creating flow experiences for visitors to your country that will bring about memorable encounters. Be sure to show clear linkages between the concept of flow experience and your idea being presented. Basically, that refers to experiential travel. And then they are required to answer a mystery question and speak for 1 minute. They're given 1 minute to prepare, and then they in turn have to express themselves in 1 minute. They're allowed to make notes during the minute of preparation, and then they're given 1 minute to respond.
Now, the last topic that you mentioned spoke to linkages, and that leads me to my next question. What are some of the linkages with key sectors of the economy that tourism affords?
Okay, well, of course, if you're talking about creating flow experiences and experiential travel, we're talking about things such as sports tourism, adventure tourism, hiking, discovering, hiking up the mountains,
Right.
Discovering the flora and fauna,
Ecotourism.
ecotourism, diving, all of that would fall under adventure tourism. And we also have cultural tourism, heritage and cultural tourism.
Yes.
We have our famous Brimston and Fortress National Park. We have the Romney Manor and the Wingfield Estate.
Yes.
We also have our museum, we have our Independence Square, so we have quite a few landmarks which are of historical and cultural significance.
Sure.
And so that is why it is necessary to marry culture and heritage with tourism.
Right. And of course, we can speak about the vendors, those involved in the cotton industry or the handicraft industry, they benefit as well. The taxi men and women, those involved in the restaurant business, and so on. So there are quite a number of linkages with key sectors of the economy. Now, there's also Florida Caribbean Cruise Association. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
That's a competition spearheaded by Miss Miranda Francis of the Ministry of Tourism. She's the one who coordinates that competition. It's both an essay competition and a poster competition. And again, the whole idea is tourism awareness, promoting tourism awareness, making sure that the students do research and become more familiar with the tourism product, with the tourism industry. That's a very attractive competition because the prizes are great. The first prize is for the regional competition. It's done regionally. The first prize is $3,000 US. The second prize $1,500 US, and the third prize $1,000 US. And even if our students don't necessarily come in the top 3 in the Caribbean, the winning entries which are sent off to FCCA, to the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association, the persons who have their essays and their posters sent off, they get $200 US. So there's some reward for their effort. And so we encourage our students. Over the years, the participation has waned somewhat. So we take this opportunity to encourage our students, to encourage the parents and the teachers to let the children participate in the competition. It takes a little while, yes, but it takes some guidance, but it's well worth the effort.
Sure. Good. Thank you very much, Miss Morton. Now I come to Miss Welcome. Welcome.
You're welcome.
And you know, we can speak about tourism on the Caribbean level. We can speak about it at a national level, a regional level. But tourism basically begins, or the concept, being hospitable and so on, even starts within the family. How we're of service to each other and all of that. And you are a community tourism officer. What is community tourism?
Well, community tourism is basically about new levels of tourism within the communities, where it encourages the visitor community relationship interactivity. There we try as much as possible to promote and encourage the community groups to encourage the visitor to explore more of their historical sites, etc., which we would think are normally hidden, not explored enough.
Sure. And why is that so important?
It's important because it gives the communities an opportunity, right, to foster community pride and encourage more persons to develop more tourism-related businesses within the area, rather than just having the concept that tourism means that they actually have to go to Bastia to participate in an activity like that. They would have historical sites in the area, and they can develop businesses surrounding that, which would encourage more visitors to the area. So it's more historical as well as culinary food as well.
Right. So we are talking here about more like niche tourism, developing sort of a unique niche within the community. Since community tourism is so important, and you're the community tourism officer, what is the Ministry of Tourism doing to promote community tourism, whether through projects or so on? Are you working on any?
Well, presently I'm working on two projects. One is the McKnight Beautification Project, and the other is the Rails to Trails Project. With the McKnight Beautification Project, a group in McKnight, the McKnight on the Rise group, has come together, and there's a huge waste disposal issue in McKnight. Believe it or not, waste disposal is a huge part of community tourism development, because if the area is not clean, then you can't possibly promote tourism in that area. And so what they've done is they started by they've chosen a few lots and have now completed cleaning one area. After cleaning that area, we're looking to turning that area into a community garden. From that area, the group was able to extract 4 bin loads of garbage and 4 tractor loads of garbage, and that's only 1,026 square feet, and that's only one lot that they've started on thus far. So I think the group basically has a lot of work to do, but of course with this we're also encouraging persons within the community to become to come on board with the group to achieve settlement.
Right. What about you mentioned another project, the Rails to Trails. What is that all about?
Well, the Rails to Trails project basically is preserving the railway by transforming it into a hiking and biking trail, and that's on the areas that aren't being occupied presently by the St. Kitts Scenic Railway. That's on the western side, probably from Ross University area, leading straight back to Newton Ground. So what we've done is we've done a few hikes in between to see the level of the visibility of the rails, within that area. And then we realized that between the areas of Palmetto Point to Challengers had the most visible rails to begin with. So we've decided to start a demonstration project so that that demonstration project would bring some sort of awareness to other persons within the community and surrounding communities of what we actually intend to do. The area designated is the top of Palmetto Point, leading into Challengers, and then they end down at Bloody River. So presently there's a community group in Challengers that has decided to work along with me. I work with all community groups, and to begin with, they have taken the responsibility to start to beautify the area down at Bloody Point, and then we'll start work on the trails. It will be to keep it in its natural form as much as possible, but just trimming up the edges and making sure that the rails are still visible, because we want to encourage visitors when they go through that area to not only walk through the rails, but to also have an opportunity to explore the neighboring villages, take advantage of the historical sites, as well as enjoy local dishes.
Okay. Well, I am beginning to see the linkages in tourism. One, Novelet spoke about education and raising awareness, and you at the community level is doing it in a very tangible way. She did it in the schools, it's in the schools, now it's in the community, and so on. And so the whole message is being spread that tourism is so important for our development as a country. Now, how are those plans going along, though? Those two projects, how are they coming along?
Well, the Matt Night on the Rise community group, that project is going fairly well. We've received assistance from persons within the community, as well as small and large businesses around. So far, we've done the cleaning up stage of one area and moving through to getting the other section completed, which would be the beautification of the land section, and that is supposed to be completed by the 21st of May. Just now, I think the group has other plans which they would like to create more sustainable tourism developments after that project is completed, as in hydroponic farming on some of the vacant lots. One of the other aspects is a Matt Night museum. As well.
Sounds interesting. Now, you introduced a new word there. You spoke about sustainability and sustainable tourism. And that is where I would ask Mrs. Taylor Williams, Diane, to speak to us about sustainable tourism. What is sustainable tourism?
To put simply, sustainable tourism is basically about being mindful of preserving our culture and heritage in relation to our environment, and also to consider the socio-economic issues, because very often when we hear about sustainable tourism, people use it interchangeably with ecotourism and environmental issues. From us at the Ministry of Tourism, sustainable tourism is that balance between the environment and the social issues,
yes,
as well as bringing benefit to the people. So it's like a triangle. There are three pillars of it: socio-economic, socio-cultural, the economy, yes, and the environment. They must work in a balanced way. That's basically what sustainable tourism is about.